This is how I set up my 570. I use the bolster plates. I don't use the fingers. Or I should say, not that I don't, I haven't yet. I just use the bolster plates as is. There's threaded holes here. You can run bolts through if you got an odd shaped head. I mainly do Chevy, so I don't run into a whole lot of that. I made these aluminum plates to go around the big frost plug or core plug on big block heads, and most of the small block heads are completely flat on the sides. Ends. I had this all moved around today, so I'm going to reset it up. I like to keep this left plate stationary all the time. I don't unbolt it. I bring my table over pretty much as far as the cutter goes, and then I line up with that. I usually have a piece of plywood on that end, and it's part of a bench, so I'll get that done. And the other thing is too, is I like to square this one with a square. Then I know I never have to change anything. That's about how far the table will go over. I don't take it that far. I take it till it's about even with the edge. Or actually even with the inside of the edge. And now I'll set my plate up. I get these plates so that they're centered on the cutter head. Square it up. And I'll lock that one down. Okay, that's secure. This bolt is tight or nut, and that nut is tight. This no longer can slide anywhere. It's solid. I use 4 25 thou feeler gauges. Put the head in place. You got to pay attention to where the machine surface is on the intake side, because there's cavities that go in and out, right? Okay, so the head's in place. I'm going to blow that off. It's a test head. I have a set of 882s that I do test cuts on periodically, and then once I get about 20-25 thou off them, I'll clean them all up and use them for something. I push this bolster down. You know this one's square, so you can kind of pay attention to make sure this one's kind of square with the ends of the table or whatever. Start snugging these rods up. I'm actually going to get bigger diameter rods. This is where if your head was different on the ends, the bolts would come in handy to fit into crevices and stuff like that for clamping. Okay. So when you tighten this down, you want to make sure you don't tighten one side more than the other. You want to have it even so everything's square. Even the ends here, like this one here I just noticed, is not quite the same distance as the other one. There's some movement in the T-slot here, right? Okay, tighten it down again. And you can kind of see on the ends of the heads where the accessory holes are and stuff that it's touching both, so you know that it's level or even. I just realized I'm wearing my old work sweater. I usually like to have these a little bit closer to snug before I tighten those other ones down, but I'm just giving you the gist of it. And that's tight. Now, you can check here with your feeler gauges to make sure that they all have pressure on them, so then you know the head is level. A lot of times when the head hasn't been cut before, you'll find one is loose, but because this has had some passes on it before, they're all nice and snug. I know it's set up level. They're a little bit difficult to get out. You can run the table down to get them out. Kind of pull on them while you're moving it. And then the ones on this side will come out with the table. Get them out of the way. Kind of a little flustered. I just finished having my supper. I'm on a spaghetti high right now. So you can kind of see where the edge of the cutter is with the front of this bolster. And I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me once I turn it on, but we'll give it a try. Turn this on. I went a little bit further, but that's okay. Usually you want to be a little bit more careful and you just want to hear a when it just catches. So it's wherever it is right now is going to be your 0. And then you turn your dial to the increments that you want to take off. We're going to take 3. Take the lever. That's it. Easy peasy. Fortunately, you can't see much with it. This is on high speed right now. I have a 2-speed unit. We'll make this cut and take a look at what it looks like. See how the fresh cutters did. How fast it goes on fast. Okay, here we go, first pass. It's not looking bad. It's not a modern machine, you got to keep in mind, right? Now we'll send it through on slow. Okay, I'm not changing any of the settings, nothing, just leave everything where it was. Gauge slow. It's so slow it's hard to tell when it's engaged. There we go. That's it. You can see that bolt starting to poke through. That's how slow it moves. You almost think it's stopped. We'll let this go through and we'll have another look at it. Okay, we're coming to the end. Okay, we're done. Put this in neutral. Because this is a 2-speed, I'm using this one now. Now ordinarily, if it was for a build or something like that, you'd run the table down again, take a look up underneath. Some guys use a mirror, some guys have a camera with a monitor. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to take the head out now. So I'm going to back this right down so that it's at least lower than the height of the table. I'm going to run this to the middle. Going to back the bars off. Head still hasn't fallen. And this is why you back the cutters all the way down. Because when I back this off, this is going to fall down the 25 thou plus the amount that it was machined. I just heard it. I don't know if the camera picked it up or not. I'll post this to TikTok, but mainly I'm just doing this for 570 group, Van Norman 570 group on Facebook. See, there's a couple guys that are wondering what's what, so I've done a few videos. Cutters look good. The finish looks good. That's a lot nicer. Wow. All right. In case this is separate videos, I resharpened the cutters today. Okay, that's it, guys.